Mr Speaker.
I call Claire Curran.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, injecting a bit of seriousness into this debate, first of all, I'd like to thank and congratulate my colleague Adrian Rurafe and also my colleague Chris Hipkins for the work that they've put into bringing this bill through the House, bringing it to the House and putting it through. This is not a gimmick. This is a serious piece of legislation, and it's a small step towards better open government, but it's an important demonstration of the principles of open government. And I do want to really stress that, because that's what it is, no more, no less. It's a small but important demonstration of the important principles of open government. There's a lot being said tonight, particularly by the members of the government on that side of the House, about open government and their commitment to it. Well, I tell you, Mr Speaker, this government pays lip service to the principles and the practice of open government. They claim that they're interested in transparency, but they abuse in general the spirit of the Official Information Act by responding as late as possible to Information Act requests, by redacting large tracts of information, and in many cases refusing to answer Official Information Act requests on spurious grounds, resulting in enormous numbers of complaints to the Ombudsman and weighing down that office of the Ombudsman. The Official Information Act is one of the few mechanisms for public scrutiny of government decision-making and government process. And this bill, which, as I said, it's small, by opening up parliamentary under-secretaries to scrutiny from the Official Information Act, is important. It's an important part of that. There's been some pretty silly contributions in the course of the debate on this bill, most silly being the member, the ACT Party member who opposed it, then provided silly supplementary order papers, and now I understand is supporting it. The weight of evidence has been clear of the sensible nature of this small but important step towards better accountability. This government's commitment to open government has clearly, and the final comment I'll make, Mr Speaker, is this government's commitment to open government, the falsity of their commitment to open government, is nothing clearer than the warning letter that has been sent to the New Zealand government by the Open Government Partnership, which is the partnership of 69 countries working to implement national commitments to promote greater transparency, accountability and engagement of citizens in policy making. New Zealand signed the Open Government Partnership, signed up to it several years ago, but they're expected to demonstrate their commitments. Well, these commitments have not been demonstrated, and a warning letter was sent by the acting director of the Open Government Partnership Support Unit in March this year to our government, warning us that we have acted contrary to Open Government Partnership process by not completing the assessments that we should have done, by not undertaking the processes of engagement with the public that we should have done, and we have been warned. And the consequences of that may be that we can no longer participate in the Open Government Partnership. Now, if that was to occur, Mr Speaker, then wouldn't that be a farce, with all of their calls, all of their claims of transparency, openness and accountability, that New Zealand was turfed out of the Open Government Partnership. Well, we are in danger of that happening. Tonight, we have a demonstration from this side of the House that we are committed to real principles of open government, to a pathway to better engagement with New Zealand citizens, to real accountability and honesty and scrutiny of the processes of government. And so I commend this bill to the House.
I call Joanne Hay.